This week, we're discussing a recent push for AI in the gaming space and a big sale in the Pokemon world. This is the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. I'm your host, Spencer, and with me is a man who actually had John Cena heel turn on his 2025 bingo card. It's my co-host, Mike. Mike, great job.
Was only a matter of time.
Right. You've had it
Only
on
matter.
there for years now, every single year, and it's gotten tiresome.
For a man who's done everything, except for get a hit in Banana Ball.
Yeah. It's been really funny to see the videos, having not watched, wrestling in a long time. But having watched the John Cena, rise era, it's funny watching a heel John Cena.
Can you believe it? They can say the F word again?
I can't.
No, it's like our childhood is back.
I know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, they got the woke libs out of WWE. Now we can say the F word again.
Yeah, known woke lib Vince McMahon.
You know what? No, he felt the pressure of the woke mob. He didn't want WWE to get canceled.
Vince McMahon, notoriously afraid of the woke mob. Oh, man.
My brother in Christ, they started calling the FU the AA. And not for Alcoholics Anonymous. I saw my first boob on WWE.
Oh, yeah?
That's a fact.
That's a core memory that I don't know if I have the answer for.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That was life-changing.
It was probably like American Pie or something. It would have been a movie.
Yeah, probably. I think Beer Fest is the first time I saw the whole thing. And that was through a pirated video of somebody with a Sony cyber. What are they called?
I don't like how you said the whole thing.
Well, I can't be too specific because I think I saw a lot of both anatomies in that movie. So,
hey, what games did you
as
play?
I don't appear in mirrors. Did that joke come through? Did the mirror joke come through?
It did.
I kind of trailed off.
It did.
Okay,
No,
great. Speaking of
it.
not seeing myself in mirrors, I played Luigi's Mansion.
Nice.
I had to make sure I had that segue. Just a little bit. Oh man, this is gonna be an exciting less than 2 weeks to get this one home.
A real buzzer beater, if you will.
Yeah, well, it's hard because could I say, okay, we're gonna finish recording this podcast tonight, and I'm gonna play this game until I'm done? I could probably do that, right? Am I going to? Absolutely not.
Right.
So I'm gonna sit here and think about it.
Yep.
Until we're at the end here.
I'll hold off. Did you play anything else, or just a little bit of Luigi's Mansion?
I did. 2 things. Split Fiction again, which horrible timing for that to come out. Because that game is fun as shit, and that's all I want to play. And then we beat Bug Snacks 2 nights ago.
Talking about Bug Snacks, hell yeah.
Talking about Bug Snacks. Will, or whatever it goes.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah. Terrible song. But it's there. It's catchy.
Excuse me?
Hmm?
Excuse me?
You're excused.
What?
Speaking of AI generated, it took me so long to realize that song was actually saying anything. I thought it was just gibberish.
Yeah, it does kind of border on Sims music.
Yeah.
I can
I
give
tell
you
a
that.
funny story?
Yeah. Open floor.
The first Sims game I ever bought.
First boob you ever saw?
Well, I'm not going to make the joke I was going to make. Yes, I am. No, first time I unintentionally had sex with a man.
Oh, fuck.
No, um, Sims 2. The first Sims game I ever bought. I
Mm-hmm.
bought it for the GameCube. I was very
Mm-hmm.
excited to play it. I returned it to GameStop. I saw, and this was before I could drive, legally. Made my mom drive me to GameStop so I could buy Sims 2. Made my mom drive me back to GameStop so I could return it because I was convinced that they sold me the French version of the game. And I remember going up to the counter and returning it and saying, "It's in the wrong language. Do you have the English version?"
And
And they just said no.
wait, they didn't like explain to you?
Nope, they didn't.
That's kind of funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Golden age of GameStop.
Yes, truly.
They literally just let me return the game and said, "Okay."
That's fucking wild because I actually did get the French version of like Medal of Honor for the PSP or some shit the one time.
That had to be a boring perspective.
I mean,
You just sit on the sidelines the whole time,
I,
cry about baguettes.
I so yeah, for a second there I was just like, wait, maybe they did. And then it clicked with me a little too late that it's all
It
gibberish.
it was the add-on pack for Sims Medal of or
Yeah.
Sims World War II.
Yeah. Um but damn, the fact that there was that and the fact that they actually just accepted it and like allowed you to return it.
And then let me buy probably some other like worse game.
Wow, hashtag not my GameStop.
It was for a while.
My GameStop would like grab you by the collar and bully you into keeping your pre-order for Assassin's Creed, even though you've said 13 times you really do not want to keep your pre-order for Assassin's Creed.
That was Hamburg though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm talking about
No,
Trexler
I know.
Town.
Whoa. I know. Don't get me wrong. I know what the golden age of GameStop was.
I'm talking the GameStop that I went in to buy you a minor GTA 5. If that doesn't make you feel old.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, that's not great. That was 10 years ago this past fall that I bought you a minor.
Yeah, a minor by like a
GTA 5.
month. First off, it was a month, so I was almost cool.
Almost.
I'll never forget. We're going way off tangent here, but I'll never forget having to explain to my mom the logistics of that. Of like, yeah, because I didn't want to get yelled at, for growing up for anything for any reason. So, I just remember being like, "Hey, Mike's gonna buy me this M-rated game. Is that okay?" And there was a little bit of pushback, and I was like, "You realize in a month, I'm just gonna go buy it myself. So, like, what are we doing here?"
Now, what you should have told her is that I had no intention of getting the game myself, and you, a minor, convinced me in the parking lot to buy myself a copy.
And we're not gonna get into how I convinced you. Okay, we will.
I said, "Hey, want to see a boob for the second time?"
I was gonna say through the rigorous power of debate, but sure.
Oh,
Anyway, um, what fun.
when GTA 6 comes out, do you want to go together so I can buy it for you?
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
for old time's sake. Or maybe you can return the favor.
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. I'd really enjoy that. Now,
Well,
now to figure out the logistics
we'll
of how to be in the same place at the same time. Or I guess I can just give you my fucking credit card number and you can just plug it in and buy it on your PlayStation, because this is the digital world we live in, Michael.
What makes you think I'm going to buy it on PlayStation?
What makes you think I'm going to buy it? How else are we going to play it together, you buffoon?
Crossplay? Duh. So
yeah, I guess there is a really high chance it'll have crossplay, huh?
I think there's a near zero chance that it'll have crossplay.
Wait, you think it won't have crossplay?
Absolutely not.
Why?
Why would they start now?
Explain.
I honestly don't know. Like my instinct says it's not going to have crossplay.
Okay.
But, like, logically, it should. Because I feel like we're past that point, aren't we? Like, aren't we done talking about crossplay for third-party games?
I feel like but now I'm also sitting here trying to rack my brain if I can come up with a game that does. Yeah, Call of Duty has crossplay.
That's because it's owned by Microsoft.
I think it had crossplay before that though already too.
I think it did too.
But that's a fair point.
I think Fortnite kind of broke it.
Yeah.
Like, that was the game where it really just showed that you kind of need crossplay to be successful, and now everyone's chasing Fortnite and will never catch up.
I would imagine it would only be console to console though, no matter what. Like, I don't think PC will ever get put into the player mix.
I think it's just too many mods.
Because of PC, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they would get put in, but I could see console crossplay.
Or isn't that like a setting in some games too, where you can choose to only play with console?
Yes, some games do have that. I'm guessing they wouldn't even give that option though if they do implement crossplay. But I could be wrong. I think you're right.
For PC gets canceled.
There's no shot.
Well, if what I said just pissed somebody off, then I've won my battle.
There you go. What else did you play?
What did I say? Luigi's Mansion, Split Fiction, and Bugsnax.
Bugsnax, yep.
That's that. That's what we played.
Hell yeah.
It was a good week.
It's a very good week. Very solid week. I also started Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Because you're aware because I fucking randomly messaged you and said, holy hell, the flashlight vacuum timing is frustrating. No additional context.
You want to know what I did when you sent that?
It said, what the fuck is he talking about?
I went on Twitter and searched flashlight vacuum and tried to figure out what pop culture reference I was missing.
Oh my god.
And needless to say, so much porn.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So much porn.
Needless to say, you sick fucks.
I had to delete my Twitter search history after that.
On one hand,
this must be pop culture.
On one hand,
as if I'm not playing Luigi's Mansion and also getting pissed off at the flashlight vacuum.
Right. On the one hand, should you have known? Maybe. But like, also, I shot that out of nowhere. So totally fair that you were like, what? I sent that to you. By the time you responded to me, I was already fucking done playing it because I was off doing something else. Because I'm constantly now getting pulled into these activities that I don't want to do because all I want to do is beat Luigi's Mansion because I've got 2 weeks to do it and I've pushed it off and I'm a serial procrastinator already in life. And, this is the one thing that I'm semi good at is playing through video games, and I'm doing a terrible job at that. Coupled with the fact that I started playing it on Sunday. Do you know what came out Thursday night into Friday morning at 12 a.m.?
Probably something that involves hitting dingers.
Yeah, hitting dingers and fucking piss missiles. That's right. MLB The Show.
Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to play that much of that. But I sit here in the same conundrum as you. You said, could you finish this recording and go and play Luigi's Mansion and probably just beat it tonight? Yeah, probably, right? Could I have, from the time I started on Sunday, could I have knowing full well that I wasn't just going to sit there and play it the rest of the day. But could I have finished it top to bottom Sunday? Yeah, I probably could have, because it's not that long of a game.
Nope.
Could I play it tonight?
Instead, you're
Yep.
instead you're going to piss away 8 hours taking the Jets to another Super Bowl.
Yeah, getting Sonny Gray to parallel 5, but sure, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did start Luigi's Mansion. I've been playing a good bit of MLB The Show, and it feels so good to be a degenerate again. Oh man, dude, it is like fucking crack cocaine. Like I know,
I hear you.
I know you're sitting there, not allowed to play Madden. But man, it's
As
why
someone who has recently relapsed, I feel your pain.
Yeah. I think we
I know
both.
how hard it is.
I think we both understand each other brilliantly.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shelby and I did finish Link's Awakening.
Yeah, you woke up.
We woke up. Yeah.
And none of it was real.
Link went woke.
Yep.
Link
is now blowing up Teslas.
Yes. Yeah. He is brandishing a knife.
Link is now the reason that breweries in North Carolina are closing.
He is brandishing a knife and destroying Cybertrucks, which are bulletproof. So
yes, except for the bumper.
Well, except for
which is held on by glue.
Yeah, and I'm gonna assume the windows because they couldn't withstand a fucking brick.
It was a lead ball.
Anyway, really solid game. I still teeter on like which one I think was better between A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
Just because I voiced some of my frustrations about the dungeons specifically in Link's Awakening last week. And that's just kind of where it ends. It was like the combat and everything, though potentially too easy, obviously then feels so much better than A Link to the Past. But the dungeons as a whole, not that they're difficult, but they're just like almost nonsensical sometimes and like illogical. Or it feels like there's no like through line logic to them. And that obviously can get semi-frustrating. Whereas it definitely felt like in A Link to the Past, once you were in, it's like, okay, I get where I'm going. Every now and again you're like, where the fuck is this last key? But more often than not, you're figuring it out and then marching onwards. Definitely a bit more difficult with Link's Awakening there, and led to some frustration. So it's like at the end of the day, their aggregate score for me would probably be the same. And it's like, which one gets the edge though? And all that's to say, I don't know. So
yeah,
onward and upwards to Ocarina.
Very excited.
Yeah,
you've never played Ocarina, right?
I've never played outside of like the first hour of Breath of the Wild. I've never really played a Zelda game.
I would say the next 3 like 3D games they're just creme de la creme.
Ocarina, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm real excited.
Honestly, my advice would say go backwards from now. If you want to end on the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my advice.
Okay. Well, I don't think we're gonna do that.
I didn't think you would, but you should.
But I'll keep that in mind, and I'll corroborate that by the end of all this, and let you know if you were right.
I'm certain you're gonna tell me that Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are just incredible.
You're certain, huh?
I'm certain. I don't know. You're kind of an old soul like me. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Because I especially going from, what the Zelda games are into an atmosphere that is just so vast and so open, I don't know if that'll feel good, Like, I don't get me wrong, I love open world RPGs and stuff like that. And I love big, massive maps that you get to move about in. But like, is that the fit for a Zelda game?
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned when we play Breath of the Wild. Hopefully, towards the end of next year, I'm guessing. Don't you like to just schedule out your life?
Not really.
Kind of put it on a calendar.
Nope. Don't want to see the days ticking down.
Personally, I love it. Anyway, let's get into our stories for the week, shall we?
Sure. What we're here for, I guess.
First up, Pokemon has been sold.
Wow. All of them.
Every single one.
Every single one.
Actually, all but Charizard and Pikachu, because those are the only money makers.
I was gonna say those are the ones that people are scalping.
Yep. No. Specifically, Pokemon Go was sold to, I didn't look up a pronunciation of it. I'm just gonna guess it's Scopely. Why the gasp?
I don't know. I just pronounce anything wrong these days.
Oh,
To the gallows with you.
yeah. Now, if you've seen anything about the potential sale of Pokemon Go and now the official sale of it, you might be reading a lot of headlines that call attention to the fact that Scopely is owned by the Saudi government. And that may or may not be important. But
do you think it's important?
Any more important than really any sale, to a big company. And it's like it gives the vibe of like Tencent,
Mm-hmm.
So
Except they're just saying, yes, this is owned by the government.
Right.
And China's like, no, it's not. But it's not. But it is. But it's not.
So, that aside, obviously, a game like Pokemon Go changing hands, there's potential for massive changes to happen. There's also potential for literally nothing to happen, for it to just kind of stay the course. I mean, Pokemon Go, as it stands, is a cash cow, if you will, that you can just milk to your heart's content. But if you don't know, you might remember that we brought up this company in the past when we talked about Monopoly Go, and we were like, what the fuck is Monopoly Go? How do they have the biggest ad budget ever? And why and how have they made $3 billion in revenue as a silly little mobile game? That's the company that now owns Pokemon Go. So you can sit here and be like, well, if they found a way to make Monopoly bring in $3 billion in revenue.
Which didn't we decide that was among like the top out of any game on any console?
Yeah, like it has to be.
It was some crazy statistic like that.
Yeah. If they were able to find a way to turn a game centered around Monopoly into $3 billion in revenue, basically what allowed them to go out and buy Pokemon Go for $3.5 billion, by the way.
And I just want to asterisk this. It is Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter now, and Pikmin Bloom.
Right, so Pokemon Go.
So Pokemon Go, yeah, but...
Right, like that's all of Niantic's games, I believe. I don't think that leaves them with anything, but I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, I don't think... I think they were independent.
Yeah.
It would be all their IP. Anyway, sorry.
No. Basically, all I'm getting at is one can have the gears start turning in their head of you can make $3 billion in revenue off of Monopoly. What in good God's name can you do when you have the Pokemon IP? Brand, whatever. So it's definitely worth considering. Like, are they going to turn this into just like how do we bleed the players? How do we like actively take the money out of our players' wallets? But I mean, again, like Pokemon Go already has plenty of like microtransactions and stuff like that within the game itself. To an already, I would say, kind of disgusting degree, but obviously people are going to feel differently about those things. I'm pretty, I get the ick, if you will, pretty easily when it comes to those types of things. So, almost any amount, and I'm going to kind of, you know, turn up my nose at it. But you could think that way, but also we have to consider that like they don't own Pokemon, right? Pokemon Go is still under the umbrella of the Pokemon Company at the end of the day as well. So we all know how protective Nintendo is about things. We all know how protective Pokemon Company is about things. So they're like two peas in a pod when it comes to like protecting their IP. So that is like one of those things where it's like if you are having like a ton of like negative feelings or thoughts, like you're like, oh, this is going to be terrible for the game, like that would be the one thing that I would say is like maybe don't like doom spiral over this if you're like an avid Pokemon Go player. But at the same time, like I do definitely understand having like some reservations around the game changing hands, and potentially like seeing a ton of changes. But yeah, I would just kind of like keep in mind that it's probably not super likely to see like it would probably be over time, and you'd see it kind of coming. But
yeah, here's my philosophy on this. The game is 9 years old,
crazy,
which hurts to say. It's
right?
9 years old.
Almost
Made a ton of. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're really like we're really like stabbing ourselves as you bring up GTA, the 10-year anniversary of you buying me GTA, and now
Yeah.
you're bringing up that Pokemon Go is 9 years old. The hits just keep hitting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the gaming world is aging us in an unbelievable fashion. But it's 9 years old. Okay. It's made a ton of money. And it's good business to know that nothing lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
And to make off with whatever it was, $3.5 billion.
Yeah.
9 years into a game's existence. Like it makes sense. And the Saudis have that kind of money to throw around like this.
Yeah.
And I personally don't think that anything is going to change.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of concern, but I think the Saudis know that they can make more than $3.5 billion off of this game by doing nothing other than buying it
Yep.
and keeping it running for like they're paying the server bills for the next, I don't know, 5 years.
I also do think that like the team that was like working on like development of stuff and everything on the game is still gonna be that team. Like it's still the same people. So that's
I
like
don't think anything is changing.
yeah,
But
that's like
ownership.
another reason to just like you're again like you're kind of saying like they're not gonna come in and just like try and like muck it all up. Like oh, it's still making money and it's just we barely have to touch it and do much of anything, and like people keep coming back. Cool. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep offering events every other weekend or whatever like the timeline is, right? And and yeah. And we'll keep this thing going until the player base just like completely falls off a cliff.
Yeah. I think this is the best strategy to keep this game running.
Yeah.
It was either this or like, I don't know. Google used to own Niantic. Google buys them back and fucking kills them.
Yeah.
I think private industry buys Niantic and it's dead
Yeah.
entirely. I think this was one of the best scenarios.
Right. And I do think it's funny that, I think you nailed it. Like, I think it's really funny that people are like scared over this move, but it's literally this one to me on paper at least seems way better of an option than any other like likely sale that would have happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, like, oh, 2K buys up Niantic.
Yeah, dead.
Ubisoft,
Game's entirely dead.
Ubisoft goes, oh, well, we've always wanted to have like an Assassin's Creed type game, so we're gonna buy up Niantic, and we'll be able to help keep Pokemon Go dead.
Yeah, they're gonna promise. They're gonna promise that it's gonna come back for 20 years, and then they'll just never do anything with it.
Yeah.
They'll do Pokemon Go themed additions to existing games. Like whatever the Assassin's Creed game is, when you go into the Animus, you just play Pokemon Go, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not going to get a standalone game.
Yeah. Pikachu and Ash Ketchum
or even
will
a
show
remaster.
up.
You're not going to get a remaster. You're not going to get a Pokemon Go movie, even though it's promised.
This is all a joke about Splinter Cell, right?
It's not a joke. But yes, it is about Splinter Cell.
Fuck. Yeah, I wouldn't expect much to change. Like you're saying, much probably won't change, and if anything changes at all.
The Saudi government 100% relies on business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're smart enough to know not to change anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not, of course, candidly, I don't really have any skin in the game, but if I were a Pokemon Go player, I wouldn't be concerned at all. Nothing's going to change.
Hey, I am a Pokemon Go player.
Yeah.
Off and on. And I'm out here hoping that it means we get, maybe some more like free stuff.
Could be. With that much money injected, it very well could be. I mean, I would lean towards this game getting better because there's so much cash.
Yeah.
And that's the move. I think that Scopely could come in and say, we need user acquisition. We're going to put a ton of money into this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, that's the move. The move is to give lots and lots of like free stuff. You find ways to like bake it into the game, in an organic and natural way. And when it doesn't pan out in the way that the user wants, well, they just had all of this like it's like in like the show and all the sports games, right? Like you get packs if you play like the Ultimate Team mode, you get packs, right? And you can like do like 5 things and have like 100 packs. So then you're sitting there and you're ripping packs, just chasing, hoping that you pull Otani, right? And at the end of the 100 packs, you don't pull Otani, but you see your stub count and you're like, I only need 15,000 more stubs. That's going to cost me $3. I could just spend $3, get 15,000 stubs. And rather than going to the market and buying players, which is what you should do, you should never buy packs. Rather than doing that, you add the stubs, you buy 50 more packs, and you rip 50 more packs, and you still don't find Otani. So then you go, well, obviously he has to be in the next 50, so I'm going to spend $100 to get enough stubs to buy more packs. So anyway, there's like a, I don't have the numbers. I don't have any studies in front of me, but there is something behind giving, free, in-game materials, in-game currency, in-game whatever, and, kind of dangling the carrot in a way, having people do a little bit of the chase, then they run out of said resource or whatever, and, they're maybe potentially more inclined, if they have no willpower, to spend the money, and you take advantage.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I do have the willpower, so I'm hoping I get a lot more free stuff. And then they go, "Oh, you could double it by spending $5," and I'll say, "Fuck you."
Fuck you.
Yeah. So anyway, anything else on the shocking sale of Pokemon Go?
No, I think we hit it all.
All right, then let's talk about everybody's favorite hot button issue, everybody's favorite hot topic: AI. Now, I think we kind of grew up at a good time because we got to see Allen Iverson, really like cooking his
Step over.
prime. No, we're not talking about Allen Iverson, though. Maybe one day. I mean, good game, bad game podcast, right? Like, doesn't necessarily have to be about video games. We could talk about a good game of basketball and a bad game of basketball, of which Allen Iverson has had plenty.
He's had many good games.
And
He's had more good games than bad games.
Oh, for sure. But he's definitely had some bad games.
Oh, yeah. Everyone does.
Plenty to discuss. No, we are talking about artificial intelligence.
Good game.
Good game.
Good game.
And specifically, the main thing that I want to kind of hone in on is recently there was a kind of odd tech demo released of potential AI like character model of Aloy from the Horizon series. And I don't have the name of the person in front of me. If you give me 2 seconds, though, I can. It was longer than 2 seconds. I apologize. Okay. So there's a video of Sony Interactive Entertainment Director of Software Engineering, Sharwin Ragobardajal. Hopefully I pronounced that close to right.
I doubt that you did.
Well, listen. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? Right, Allen Iverson?
Okay, LeBron.
And in the video, he has a conversation with this like AI Aloy. And the video has basically been wiped. I only found a very small clip of it when trying to like go back and see. I saw it originally, and then I was trying to find a clip of it to see it again, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I found a very small clip of it. There have been like strikes against it left and right as they're trying to like kind of scrub it. But in it, Sharwin asks like, "Hi Aloy, how are you?" And then Aloy responds with, "Hello, I'm managing all right. Just dealing with a sore throat. How have you been?" And it's like, it's in one way it's good because it's not Ashley Birch's voice. Mm-hmm. It is just a full blown like text to talk voice, basically. Sounds very robotic. Sounds very like monotone. Very little emotion behind it. But like the features of the Aloy character model and everything like do kind of like move around, and the mouth moves as it talks and stuff like that. But really just like super uncomfortable, and all I got from it was just a feeling of, what is this for? What are we doing this for?
To oversimplify for an increasingly unentertained audience? Is my answer, I suppose.
It's just so weird. It's so, who wants this? Do you want this?
People who don't care. I no, not really. Um, I how do I want to phrase this? I already don't want to play a lot of games. Uh, I certainly don't want to play like regurgitated games
Yeah,
other than Madden and
sure.
NCAA. I mean, I've got to admit, where I'm wrong sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, but listen, I'm the type of person who will watch a good acting performance. 100% know I'm watching a movie, and I will bawl my fucking eyes out.
Okay, yep.
Like don't knock when I'm watching The Green Mile.
Yeah, I'm with
And
you.
you take that out of video games, especially me who likes really cinematic linear video games.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. If you want to use AI to like fill in NPC like just fodder,
Yep.
and I understand this is not going to be a good statement. I understand this is going to like this is not good for voice actors, but like I don't really give a shit. Like I don't need somebody to get paid to say like some recurring line over and over again that I've heard 80 times in the game already. But to like replace a main actor or actress with AI, like no, that's stupid. I'm not going to play the game because I still see it as an art. I see it
I
as cinema, and
yeah. I I'll take a step, just a probably a step beyond you. Is it's really what it comes down to for me is stop taking away the creative aspects of any form of art or entertainment, um and trying to use AI, because my biggest issue is that more often than not it's like suits doing this
yeah,
shit, right? Like it's some guy who has never studied art and has never um really interacted with art or tried creating art of their own, who's plugging into fucking Dolly and saying like uh oh, give me a cat playing with a ball of yarn while a clown watches. And it's just the worst thing you've ever seen. And they're like, yeah, I refined this for 5 hours. I created this. And it's just like, you should create a gun.
oh, well, that's an option.
It's just
Like,
that,
don't get
like,
me wrong, prompting is a good skill to have, but not for creating like creating something that other people are going to consume. Like,
you know who should be using AI tools? The creators themselves, if they want to, right? Because it's like you said, if you want to use it as like a crutch, or if you want to use it as crutch isn't even the right word, right? But like if you want to use it to like to figure out a way to get the ball rolling, but then you can go and grow from that thing, right? And
mhm.
like you can take the little bit of inspiration or whatever and go from, from there. Great, fantastic. um it's this like need to to like just actively replace instead, and it's like it's always just like the worst slop you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like some dickhead tried uh to like they're acting like they made like a interstellar type movie. It's 2 minutes, and like it's that it does that weird thing that AI videos do where like the shit just like bleeds into the next thing and it just like shapeshifts and doesn't actually like it's not smooth in any way, shape, or form. And they're like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, oh my God, how are you breathing and functioning as a human being right now?
Yeah.
Like you can't possibly be. Yeah, I can't. I can't sit here and honestly believe that people actually exist like this, because like you said, like, how do you watch something like that and act like it is on the same level or par with, like you said, the Green Mile, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. Um, so it's like the incessant need to use AI for like replacing like the creative aspects. It's so frustrating when there are definitely great use cases for AI, and we've seen great use cases of AI like for years, right? Like, and it's only now since like, this I'll call it like a societal or cultural shift in how AI is used, that now anytime you see like a headline that has the words AI, people, somewhat rightfully so, kind of get up in arms about it, because they just naturally are going to assume that when they see AI, it means that like some human element of creation is being actively replaced, and the replacement is just going to be slop.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think it's Nvidia that has like the AI upscaling that will happen with games, or you think about use cases like that. Great, right? Like, fantastic. Um and there's so many others that I can't think of right now, because I'm just like ranting. But yeah, so it's frustrating to see something like this. And again, like, there's just no human element behind it. Like, it's not even a real voice right now. It's literally like effectively like Siri is talking to you, or your at home smart device uh, is going, okay, I will check the weather for you. And it's like, don't get me wrong, that little assistant's great. Why do I need it to be fucking
Yeah,
Aloy from Horizon? Like,
sure.
what? I was gonna let you talk for a little bit.
No, I mean, I don't have a whole lot to add on that. I think it can be useful in certain situations. But replacing main characters, like, I don't even think it's a novelty. I think it's just kind of stupid.
hmm Yeah. Just I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more information about what the idea or the gist is, right? Like, maybe we're jumping at the throat a little quick. Ashley Birch, the voice actress for Aloy, did kind of go into some detail on, like, what they feel about it. Obviously, it is the character that they've voiced in every single installment of in which Aloy appears in a game. Um, and yeah, I think like they're basically just saying a lot of the stuff that we're kind of driving at, which is that, like, kind of removing the human element and the performance element of uh, games is kind of like a step in the wrong direction. Um, Yet, you know, here we are. It does seem to be the direction we could potentially be heading in.
Yeah.
Not to mention that, like, the the discussion of utilizing AI and uh, for performances and stuff like that has been an ongoing topic of discussion for some time now. Um, you know, ever since, like, uh, you know we've seen like contracts of uh if you appear in our movie or whatever, we can just use your likeness and your voice for forever and not pay you any royalties and stuff like that. That was like a huge contention thing during the some of the strikes that we've seen happen over time. So um definitely a step in the wrong direction. And yeah, makes me a little worried for what the types of games we're gonna like start really seeing it. I mean, fuck, I already see if you go to the like recently released tab in the PlayStation Store. I don't know if you've done this yet. Now that you are a proud owner of a PlayStation, I don't know, maybe Xbox is like this too, but I have hopes that they aren't. But dude, it's just like every game on there is just AI slop. It's just like Burger Simulator, and you can just see from the fucking image. You're just like, this is definitely AI art, and then you look at the actual like gameplay pictures that they post, and it's like not the same art whatsoever. It's literally just like your fucking bare bones ass game that you can imagine, and they just keep getting pushed to the PlayStation Store left and right.
No, I haven't actually paid attention to that, but now I'm going to go on PlayStation and look.
Do it. Look at upcoming releases. Look at new releases. They're in there for both of them, and you'd think they would have a better curated section. Half the time, I don't even like try to look in there to see what new games. I'm just hoping that it's fed to me through one of the many different like algorithms that I'm already embedded into, because there's just no way in hell I can trust, because without clicking into every single fucking game to try and grasp whether or not it's something that is like a legitimate game or if it's actually just slop. Super frustrating. But also, if it's not your experience, that just means I've played so many shitty games that they just assume.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and that's also very upsetting if that's the case. So you're gonna have to get to the bottom of that for me.
I can do that.
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to keep our eyes out for, you know, what this actual like use case is for. I don't know. Again, off of the small clip that did get posted, I don't know what the possible end goal would be, but you know, I guess can't fully be negative about it until we actually have all the details, but definitely something that I am extremely skeptical of, and altogether not really looking forward to seeing more of.
Well, I think that's fair.
Anything else that you wanted to touch on?
No, I think I'm good to go.
All right. Then that will do it for this episode. As always, if you could leave us a rating or review wherever you do listen to the podcast, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can go over to the YouTube channel and let us know your thoughts on the Pokemon Go sale or the Aloy AI video that was released. You can also, or if you could also share the podcast with a friend, that would be greatly appreciated. And other than that, we will talk to you next week.